Hello there. Now, what you are about to see in today's show should terrify you, because the footage I'm about to show you is proof that in Britain today there is now a full-scale invasion underway. And no, this is not conjecture. This is openly being articulated by a significant portion of the population that do not want to integrate. Here in Britain, racist chants are being screamed in large congregations, yet our Home Secretary and Prime Minister remain silent on it. And here's the first one I'll show you.
Welcome everyone, today we're at Alta Bali Park. We're here to interview some people. So I've asked some questions, brother.
Yeah.
Alright. What message do you want to give to the far right people?
The message I want to give to the far right people is we're here to take over your country. You can't stop us. You can try, but we're here to uphold Sharia law, and yeah, that's it.
Alright, fair enough. And what does a community mean to you?
For me, community means everything. It means coming together, embracing one another, loving each other, showing each other support, and yeah, defending each other.
That's good answers. Alright, last question. Do you think the way everyone has gathered here as a community is the right way to protest?
100%. This is the right way to protest. You come here, you gather as a community, brotherhood, sisterhood, everything. You come here to defend what you care about the most, which is the people, the area.
Some deep answers right there.
Now that sent a real shiver down my spine. I don't know about you. Just two young guys just talking like that. Can you imagine that if Richard and I were talking in their community, just saying, oh, we're just here to impose Christianity on you, or Christian law or something like that on them? There would be, it would be, all hell would be let loose, wouldn't it, Richard?
Yes, I mean, I thought it was very beautiful what they said, here to take over, which is something, of course, that we're all looking forward to. What I want to know is, where was the Home Secretary's comments upon this? And the other, which we're going to see in a minute, the other congregations, which looked more like a paramilitary parade, to be honest with you. Where was the Home Secretary's comments on this? Where was Keir Starmer's condemnation? It was absolutely terrifying. Nigel Farage described the scenes in London, in Tower Hamlets. He said today, it was like a foreign invading army marching through our streets. And I mean, for a change, I'm in absolute 100% agreement with Nigel Farage there. What we saw, the scenes that we saw were very, very frightening. I mean, if we were, Jeff, if we were to organise such a... let me think. If we were to organise such a protest, for instance, under the ban of, say, UKIP, because UKIP weren't allowed to go there. I wonder why. Yep. When you see the quantity of men who were there, masked up, almost in paramilitary type garb, you think...
Well,
in
I'll
some
show
respects,
that now
Jeff,
while you're talking.
Yes,
Richard,
yes,
I'll show this while you're talking.
Yes.
Ladies, I'm just going to show you this one. I've taken the sound out so that we can talk over it. So here we go. Tower Hamlets. And they were there. This was after UKIP was forced not to march there in case it caused, unrest or upset. And all that's happened is someone else, another group, took their place and made their strength quite clear. Now, if we were to do something like that, force the police to move other people on and then did the same, we would be vilified for it. Absolutely vilified. This is not how cohesion is made. And we've allowed this to happen. Our betters, our political masters have made this happen. They have backed it all the way. They are fully and utterly and totally committed to this. Be in no doubt.
Those men there do not look like they're there with peaceful intentions. That's the one thing I'll say. They do not look like they're there to have just to have a little chat, with potentially opposing ideologies like UKIP's ideology. They look like they have gone there and they mean business, and that does frighten me. Jeff, I think that is what we're seeing now is the fracturing of our society, the complete fracturing of our society. That, by the way, is let's get some context here. That is Tower Hamlets in the capital city of London. Okay, Now, the police weren't happy for UKIP to do a march there, okay? And I'm wondering why. And I think we all know the reason why. Because it wouldn't be UKIP who would have kicked off there. It does look like somebody else would have kicked off, and I can't say who exactly, but it does look like some other side would have kicked off. And would it be possible that it would be beyond the police's capability of keeping the white patriots safe from those gentlemen? Do you think that is beyond the realm of possibility there, Jeff? Do you think it was beyond their capabilities? I'm starting to wonder if the police might, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, so please bear me out, might have made the right decision. Otherwise, Nick Tenconi and the rest of UKIP could have been in serious trouble, because there seem to be a lot of them there. Now, personally, I believe the police should do their bloody job, and UKIP should have had the protesters should have been able to have gone there with division placed between the two sides, and a good, coherent, peaceable march and protest should have been allowed to take place. But what if the police have now lost control of our capital city? Think about that for a moment.
Yes, the other side of it for me is that it's quite acceptable for them to march right up to the Israeli embassy, isn't it? In places like that. And the police will stop Jews trying to cross the road if they are overtly Jewish. It's all one-way traffic, this. It's all one-way traffic. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll show you another one. This is from Marble Arch, which is in central London as well. And I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. This is someone seen to be encouraging people to get involved, if you see what I mean, and she is not happy when they don't. I'll just show it to you. And she's trying to whip him up and join the parade of their parade. And she's not happy when they don't. Now, before I leave this one, I'm just going to go back slightly and show you something which, because I thought, hey, this looks familiar. That little restaurant there is on the corner of a place called Seymour Street. If you look at the top right-hand corner, it's got the road there, the road name. And I thought I recognised this because I walked past there to go to the military club I stay at, the Victory Services Club. It's within 100 yards of that march. So I know that place, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, if that's going on there, how safe am I now going there? And things like that. And it sort of should worry people.
Jeff. Probably not at all, Jeff.
You know, and between that stands directly between Marble Arch Station and the club. And it doesn't, you know, it takes me, 5 to 10 minutes? Well, not even, 5 minutes to walk from Marble Arch to there with my little suitcase. So, yeah. Anyway, that sort of, it's should be a bit of a wake-up call for us all. Not many people go to London these days, and I'm wondering why not. Anyway, there you go. It's yeah. I'm just wondering where we're all going with this. This whole country is just being split and divided, and the government, all they're interested in is the vote that some people give to them, and they are desperate to maintain that vote. But because of that, they won't do anything about the problem. They're never going to stop more of them coming in because they need the votes. So if they're nice to these people and get their votes and they get the new votes coming in, wow, happy days, they think. But I think they're on a loser here, to be honest. I really do.
Well, good job though that it's like let's face it. I mean, it's a good job that the Home Secretary has she's agreed to put £10 million, is it, towards the Jewish community to protect them. Do you have that there, Jeff?
Yes.
That's all.
Yes, I can show you that. This is Shabana Mahmood talking about that particular
Prime Minister and I
subject.
visited the Community Security Trust, who provide security outside synagogues, Jewish schools and other sites across the country. That this organisation should have to exist is a devastating fact. Jewish people should be able to worship in safety in their country. Tragically, on October the 2nd, that was not the case. The anti-Semitic terror attack of October the 2nd was a horrifying act. Staff and volunteers from the Trust, alongside brave worshippers, saved countless lives that day. So I'm proud to say that we have provided this vital organisation an extra £10 million of funding. But while more security is necessary, it is not sufficient. We face a rising tide of anti-Semitism in this country and we must do much more to address it. We are committed to this fight.
Correct.
I am committed to this fight. And I am proud to say I do so alongside the Community Security Trust.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, there's another video now to come straight after that. Just to give context, could you play that, please, Jeff?
Yeah, sure.
The Peacehaven Mosque with the Prime Minister. The attack on this mosque a few weeks ago was an appalling crime, and I have met with those who were impacted that night and heard of the terror that they all felt. What is clear is this could have so easily led to an even more devastating outcome. It is appalling that my community, the Muslim community, faces such appalling levels of hate in the country that we love. And it is why I am here today to announce an additional £10 million to protect Muslim communities across the UK, strengthening security at our...
Just a second. That's just like sticking two fingers back up at the Jewish community, okay? They are in serious trouble. From a threat, and it's not the far right that don't get me wrong, there is a very small far right out there who are anti-Semitic. We know that. But there is another group of people who I cannot name, I can't think the name of them, who are very much opposed to not just the state of Israel, but to Jews breathing, period. And so all of a sudden she's having to match. She's there matching. Oh, well, we just gave 10 million to the Jewish community. Well, we might as well give 10 million to the community that I come from. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not in any way saying that what happened at the mosque is good. It's a terrible thing. Things like that shouldn't be happening. But are we talking about a proportionate threat here to mosques? Just as that, or what's happening? She's almost like, it's almost as if she had some sort of conversation with people who were very unhappy with £10 million going to the Jewish community without £10 million going to her own community. I find that very, very disturbing, Jeff. Very worrying. This is our Home Secretary.
Actually, I saw people on X saying our community, because they've only got a couple of 100,000 Jews in the country, which I think there's 400,000 or so. But we've got 6 million of our religion. We should get 60 million or whatever, 10 times the amount that the Jews were getting. That's what they were saying. And I'm just sat there going, this is just...
So are they
ridiculous.
going to do 10 million as well for churches as well? Because for Christian churches, are we going to get 10 million for Hindu temples, for Sikh temples, for Buddhist temples, for Zoroastrian temples, for...
not even for the
societies?
Klingon temple.
No.
Yeah. I'll play the rest of this anyway.
Our places of worship, so we can practice our faith safely and without fear. I am proud of this country because of the rights that we have. The right to follow your conscience and the faith of your choosing. The right to live free from hatred and from fear, whoever you might be. But that right has to be defended. Violence,
well, damn right it bloody well does.
Or community is an attack on us all, and we must stand together in solidarity against those who seek to divide us.
Yet, at the same time, we have just watched this weekend. You've got anti-Semitism, again, once again, being screeched on the streets of this country. We're from the river to the sea. But she doesn't say anything about it. What is she doing about that? Makes my absolute blood boil.
Yep. No, it does. This is just totally unacceptable. I've said it so many times. We have imported conflict into this country in a massive way. And we need to be dealing with this and sorting it out and getting rid of it. And as I pointed out in a video, we haven't even used the human rights laws that we have that can protect us from this sort of thing by shutting down foreign political activists in this country using human rights law, which is available to us. The ECHR Article 16, which I've gone through in a video. And just to let you know, that article says if foreigners come in and are politically active to try and destabilise the country or change it in some way that we don't like, the government has the power to shut down their speech, regardless of freedom of speech given by the ECHR. It can shut down their meetings and their plottings, despite what it says about freedom of association, and we can even discriminate against them if they do this. And we haven't used any of that, none of it. All we said is, oh no, you come here, you have exactly the same freedom of speech as the rest of us. You can spout as much biolatus as you like. And this is the result, I'm afraid. This is the result.
Yes. I have another video which I could upload, or would it confuse things in the sequence at the moment, Jeff?
No, what have you got? The only one I've got to show is that flag one you sent me.
Oh, yes.
Where a Brit guy was asking people, protesters about the flag, and he got some mixed responses. I'm not quite sure where this leaves us, but he says that most of them just treat our flag with disdain. Anyway, I'll add this to it.
Beautiful flag. I can't hear you. Let me hold your flag.
No, it's alright, man.
I love the flag.
I'm sure you do, man. It's my property.
I love the flag. No, I'm not holding it. Take a photo.
No, it's great. It's my property. I don't know who you are, and it's my property.
Trust me.
I don't trust you.
I'm not going to hide the flag.
I appreciate that.
Beautiful flag. I love the flag.
Don't engage, otherwise hypebeast will get angry. Alright. Touch my flag again. Go on, give it a go. Go on, give it a go.
You come in with a flag, they'll hate you.
Me? You're the lone standing there with that.
It's a flag. It's our flag.
Why do you love flags so much? You shake them. Are you a flag shaker?
I can't hear you. You're wearing a mask.
Do you love your flag so much it's shaking?
Hang on. I've not done anything.
No. To be the vehicle fee.
You did it. Just asking people why they're here.
How? Can I have a photo?
No.
How?
Because, no disrespect, but I can't see your face.
Oh, I'll show you. I want the police to see.
Oh, this is like a spin. I'm okay for a cuddle, but, because I'm.
Well, yeah, strange, but yeah.
Yeah, very odd. But, the thing is, at the end of the day, Jeff, that the flag is a bit of an offence to people. That's the sort of message you can get there. Yeah. Now, what I'd like you to do, can you play that? I've just sent a bit of video across. If you could play that there, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're still here at Skibenia, where another boat of refugees has arrived over from Turkey, and the layout is that there's a clothes station where they can get some dry clothes, and then there's a medic station, and then there's some food. All of this has been provided primarily by young volunteers, and honestly, I take my hat off to them. Some of these people don't have very much.
That is our Home Secretary, I believe.
Yes, it is. And she was in Turkey, welcoming people across the Mediterranean. And, of course, with her English accent, you can say, so we'll go to Britain then. They were very welcoming, very welcoming. Yes. Yeah.
And there's also, but we need to know that, we need to just understand that Britain now is a very different country to what it used to be, and I can't quite put my finger on it. If you can play the video I've just uploaded here, it just seems to have changed, and this is quite intimidating. I find this quite intimidating to watch, because what I'm looking at doesn't seem to be like, long story. I'll be back 2 seconds, Jeff. There's something I have to do, incidentally. I have just forgotten. I will be with you in 2 seconds. Okay? Bye.
Okay, well, I'll just play this while you're gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, so they're very highly integrated into our country, aren't they? So that is rather good to see. Yes.
Well, I just found it quite. I mean, look, at the end of the day, people have got the right to pray and have their faith. We all know that. But that display, masked men, in what appears almost to be what has become a uniform, I find that scary. And this is what Nigel Farage was talking about when he said it was like an invading army. That's what it feels like. But then again, they have their right to protest as well. Maybe it's just my perception of things, and I might be completely wrong there, Jeff. Yeah.
Yes. No, I'm just fed up with it. I think everybody in Britain is getting fed up with these people. Absolutely up to the eyeballs with it. And all I want to see is a return to normality. This is not normality. It is not. When one person goes and stands on a street corner and prays in their head, they get instantly arrested. If someone goes on the street with a megaphone or whatever and preaches the Bible, bang, they're arrested. All they have to do is be within 200 miles of someone from the preferred demographic who moans, and they're arrested. That's the end of it. And they're the ones who get carted off time and time again. This is not right at all. And of course, we get a knock on the door for that, for moaning about that. Oh, no, you've got to accept. No, I don't have to accept anything. I don't have to tolerate anything. And I can speak against other people's actions that upset me, because they speak up about ours, don't they? No, I've just had enough of it. And
well,
Canada
the thing is,
also
Jeff,
fed up, says George 2AEU.
Yes. Well, the thing is, though, Jeff, I mean, what we have to realise is that there is, there is a movement which is banding together of the far left and, a certain other demographic, but they are working, they are aligned, and they have, they're both on the same side, as this video, which I've just put up for you to play now, demonstrates just how much on the same side they are.
Is this a new video?
Yes, it is indeed, Jeff.
Was it? All right, a new video. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Richard Technology and Jeff Technology, Richnology and Jeffnology, and we're working together on this one.
No need for that. We're on the same side, bro.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are, bro.
My goodness, did you just say we're not on the same side? You had the stand up to racism, Antifa lefty, far left, and with another demographic all masked up and looking like they mean business. And it appears as if they, one side doesn't seem to want to be on the same side as them. I think that's rather.
Well, no, you've got to remember they're both working together, aren't they?
Yes, yes.
That preferred demographic and the LGBTQ plus whatevers are on their side. They're all working together. They all believe totally in each other, don't they?
And one side is not going to turn on the other one. That's not going to happen. Any speculation of such a thing is far right. Have no doubt of it.
Yes. Now, UFO Enigma 7858 says Brexit was supposed to curb immigration. No, Brexit was supposed to give us the power to control our borders. That's what it was supposed to do. But the Tories decided, nothing to do with that. We've got to Just fill the country, call it the Boris wave and let everybody in. And that's what he did. And Labour love it. In fact, Labour want it even more. At the moment, they're being held back by public opinion. But if they had their way, there would be no borders. Not with anyone. We'd be facilitating everyone to come here in accordance with the Global Migration Compact, the UN Global Migration Compact, which is not legally binding, but sets the idea that there are no borders. And if anyone wants to travel to our country, as soon as they get here, whatever they have or haven't got, we have to help them all the way. And that's where we're at. We are actually living the Global Migration Compact. We're not defending ourselves and our borders, our way of life, our heritage, nothing. We haven't used the full toolbox of the European Convention on Human Rights to help ourselves, to protect our rights as a population of a settled population of a country. We're not allowed to use those tools that would protect us. No, the only rules we can use are those that protect other people. And it's about time we woke up. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, His
Forever
Majesty
English
the King is
BNB
happy with
says,
everything.
Forever English BNB says, so Jeff and Richard will be here in 6 months' time saying the same thing. Well, if we all just sit around, yes. It's not up to us to suddenly be the prime movers in everything. There are loads of other people who have power and the money to do it, but they're not doing it.
Yes, but as I say, King Charles is very happy with this. Jeff,
yes,
2 seconds.
He's ecstatic.
Yeah, he's very happy with it. But unfortunately, the people are not so happy with King Charles. I'm just reading in the Daily Mail here. King Charles is heckled by Andrew protester shouting, "How long have you known?" Good question on that one. Sorry to deviate here slightly, but how long has he known indeed about certain things with Andrew? I mean, but His Majesty, I didn't know anything. It's just, I'm awfully disappointing with my brother. Yes, we believe you. Awfully disappointing about that Jimmy Savile chap as well. And my other friend, late Bishop Peter Bore. Very disappointing, I didn't know anything about it. Yeah, okay. And did you know anything? Have you not been reading the room when it comes to what's happening in the country, where you have hundreds of thousands of young girls who have been through hell on earth? Have you made any statement about your anger with that? Have you been to meet? Have you got yourself involved with the inquiry on this? Have you been saying, right, we need to really, really get to grips with this? Not to my knowledge. Maybe there's been a token this, token that, but no great outspoken. These are your subjects, Your Majesty. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, someone called Pants 2007 said, sorry, we stole Richard for the Richard Inman stream. We fed and watered him, so he should all be good. Because just before we went live, Richard here was with the opposition, with Richard Inman on his live stream.
Well, as I say, we're going to have to get him on here, Jeff. He's been a
we're going to have to get Richard Inman on here. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and
so
we haven't.
The trouble is, we get so wound up. Yeah. We get so into what we're doing, we forget the rest of the world. They don't exist.
Yeah.
So there you go. And Michael McLean 3968. Thank you very much. I'll just say what he said. When a death cult wants to dominate a peaceful religion, there are only two options: resist or surrender. And that sort of hits the nail on the head for us.
Yes, and the death cult we are talking about is the far right, of course. We wouldn't be thinking of anybody else whatsoever.
It's the far right. Yes,
it's the far right. Yeah. They're the new death cult. I mean, we don't share. I mean, it must be because otherwise our Home Secretary and our Prime Minister would mention. They'd make mention of them and worry about them. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't see them on the streets masked up like paramilitary organisations. No, you wouldn't see that. So thank goodness that, they're keeping the eye on the far right. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So there you go. No, it's quite horrendous where we're going. And at the moment, one of the things that should really be upsetting us is how this government groomer gang thing, their inquiry, is falling apart. Almost like it was meant to fall apart and be ignored and be pushed into the long grass yet again. We don't want to hold anyone accountable for anything. There's nothing to see here. They've tried to change all the terms of reference or set them all. And one of the people that have resigned from that inquiry was on with Nigel Farage during his press conference today about how we deal with this thing. Now that this looks like that this particular inquiry is just going to fall apart at the seams. It's not going to be reconstituted in any meaningful form, and it will make no difference to the debate. Nothing will happen. No one will be held accountable, which is the usual aim for government inquiries, isn't it? Now look how long they take. You know, Hillsborough, the Bloody Sunday. All these things go longer and longer and longer and longer. They soak up lots of money for the people involved. Actually, that would be a good thing. Get myself as the chairman of one of these inquiries and then just keep eking it out for decades. That would be a great little earner, eh? No, it needs to be dealt with quickly. Now, Nigel Farage has come up with the idea that he wants a parliamentary committee to hold the inquiry. Now, the one thing about that is that he thinks it can be set up very quickly. Parliament, in their inquiries, have massive powers to demand people turn up and answer questions under oath so that things can then come out. Now, the only thing about that, though, is that Charlie Peters, the GB News national reporter, has actually done a bit of digging, and what he said out on Twitter was the following about this. Anyone who has read Louise Casey's Grooming Gang review will know that only a national inquiry with statutory powers for targeted investigations will expose the horrors. Reform's proposal for a parliamentary commission would be a let-off for those involved in the cover-up. Now, he went on to say, the government needs to start the inquiry from scratch after botching the launch. Grooming gang victims are clear it must focus on this specific scandal, but Labour have a lot of changes to make to regain their trust. So what the Labour Party tried to do, or the committee or whoever was setting this inquiry up, they didn't want it concentrating on the grooming gangs. They wanted it concentrated on, the treatment of any young person in that way, if you see what I mean. So it wasn't going to concentrate on anything to do with religion or ethnicity or anything. Nothing like that. It was going to be a general inquiry, which would have been it would have taken the sting out of the tale. But what Charlie Peters is talking about, why he's saying this, is because a parliamentary committee can actually question, yes, but everything, all the evidence and everything that people say to a parliamentary committee is covered by parliamentary privilege and cannot be used in a court of law to either civil or criminal against them or against people they name directly. It can't be used. What they would have to do is then try to get them into another court and repeat the procedure. But then people can refuse to answer questions and say, because they're not covered by parliamentary privilege, they can't say exactly what they think because of other repercussions. So what Charlie Peters is saying is we shouldn't be using this vehicle because it will let people off the hook in the long run. I don't know. That's for the lawyers to decide. But there is a big question mark there. I hope I've explained it satisfactorily to you. Yes, anyway. Yeah, this is a big thing that sort of worries a lot of people. I wonder what weapons they're carrying under their coats when they're wearing the masks. I don't know.
Aside from what's under the coat, I mean, who knows? Difficult to speculate, really, but I'm sure, statistically, many of those people will be carrying some sort of weapon. What worries me more about the weapons that they're probably not carrying, and I have heard that, let's just say, there are certain people who are very well armed at the moment. I mean, that's worrying if they are, but I mean, that could again just be rumour and nonsensical disinformation. So we should just assume that all these people are not well armed and are peaceable, and that as threatening as they may look threatening, but maybe it's just a bit of, aggressive cosplay, and it's not actually any sort of threat, or rather the intention of threat is sitting behind those masks. And I was just, as has been pointed, I was just on a live stream with Richard Inman, and you can see one chap who's selling people masks, saying, "Oh, you come and get our mask, £5 for a mask." Yeah, some people, I thought, very industrious of the individual, but there we go.
Well, yeah, very capitalist when they need to be. Yes. Yeah, this is the sort of thing. So what happens if civil war breaks out? Who protects us? You do.
Well, if civil war breaks out, yes, we have to. I mean, or everybody. Not that there's no us and them, of course. I wouldn't be trying to insinuate any specific lines of division here. However, in any civil war situation, the us has to protect us, because usually when a civil war is taking place, the state has broken down. So under such circumstances, one has to form, I'd assume, some kind of community defense system. But that's if the national system is broken down, which will not happen, thank goodness, because in any civil war scenario, the state will obviously look after the majority of the population in this country, and most certainly would not side with any other side. Thank goodness for that, Jeff. I can sleep well at night with that.
Absolutely, yes. We may have the smallest army on record and all the rest of it, but yes. But we got lots of civil servants. We got more civil servants, I think, than we've ever had before.
Yeah,
there we go. You see,
and it's a good job. More to the point, Jeff. It's a good job that there's more people in the British Army than there are illegal people in the country. Oh wait, hang on. That's not true, is it? Oh.
Yes.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter because, the state will look after us, and we should always remember. This reminds me of that classic film, When the Wind Blows. I don't know if you remember that. It was a cartoon by Raymond Briggs about the fallout of a nuclear apocalypse, and the old gentleman. It's it's brilliant. Roger Waters from Pink Floyd, well, I'm not a fan of these days, incidentally. It was years ago, but he does the soundtrack to it. And in it, he, I think it's Roger Waters anyway. I'm pretty much sure it is. But in it, the old gentleman, he's always saying, "Oh, don't worry, darling. The authorities will be along to look after us soon enough." I mean, there they are, dying of radiation poisoning, and their house is wrecked. And it's very sad to watch, very heartbreaking. But again, it's one of those things. No, the authorities look after us, dear. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. Oh, they'll soon be here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was very much like the pandemic. I remember the very old pensioners, all they've ever done throughout their life is trust the government, trust the BBC. They watched the BBC and they loved it. They thought, oh, we're being looked after. Look how they're rushing through these arm interventions. We can all have an arm intervention. We can all go there. I'm going there. I'm going to queue up. I'm going to get as many as I can. Yeah. They trusted the government and they trusted the BBC to tell them that if the BBC is telling us, it's the truth, because they went through the war with the BBC and after the war with the BBC. Always trust it. Always, always, always. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now the rest of us have learnt a lesson.
Well, it's a good job again that the arm intervention was worked, and it was safe and effective, and that the lockdowns were justified in every way, shape, or form. And thank goodness the system looked after us. And the country wasn't destroyed in any way, shape, or form. Businesses didn't go bankrupt. Family-run intergenerational businesses remained intact. And all was fair and hunky-dory. And no great debt burden was passed on to the next generation. Thank goodness that
of course
none
not.
of those things happened. You know, that it was all, sure.
Richard, are you sure Wendy Phillips, Patriot, says something different?
Well, it was David Bowie, was it? I wasn't sure with the Wind Blues, but I wasn't sure. Let me just Google this. I do recall.
You Google it, Richard, and then come back.
Yes, I've got to Google this. Yes.
You've got to Google this. And while you're doing this, I shall go and say, thank you very much, Paul Thorpe. Yeah, well, and it's great to see you. We must get together again. And so he says, keep up the hard work, gents. We need each other more than ever. Yes, we do. We all need each other more than ever. It's a very, very difficult time at the moment.
It is.
For
it really
many
is.
people.
And
so,
yeah, thank you, Paul. You're an absolute gem. Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
God bless you, mate. I'm just trying to find this here.
Yeah, Richard's still struggling, trying to find this
I'll
musical
find
reference.
Actually, it is David Bowie. It is David Bowie. I was wrong. Jeff, make a note of this day. Write it down. Hang on.
Oh,
Originally, Bowie had intended to write the entire soundtrack of the movie, but after pressure to produce his own album, he instead pulled out of the project, only submitted the title track. Pink Floyd, Roger Waters provided much of the original music for the soundtrack instead. Yes, that's right. That's correct. Absolutely. And it's a great film.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is as well, ladies and gentlemen, Raymond Briggs, he was a national treasure. I think he's passed away. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because he was Ethel and Ernest, a fantastic film. Obviously, The Snowman and Father Christmas. These are just part of British culture. Beautiful, beautiful things. But When the Wind Blows was indeed one of his sort of unsung masterpieces. And I do recommend that. Sorry, I'm completely off track. Ladies and gentlemen, you came to hear about what's taking place in this country right now with certain people, almost like, it's almost becoming like a sectarian army is rising up.
No,
that
it's
is very
not,
much,
is it? Yeah.
Well, that's what it feels like. And I hope this isn't true. And we have to find a way to unite. We have to find a way to unite this country. And the only way I can see to do it, Jeff, we've had this discussion as well, and you can see to do this, is via Advance UK. That's the only way.
As far as I'm
That's
concerned,
our only way out, peaceable way out of this.
Yeah. And thank you, Lyle Crawford, for saying that comment regarding trusting the BBC was clip-worthy. I'm going to cut that one out and put it up on the other website, on the other channel, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Lots of people are saying good evening to Paul Thorpe. Yes, good evening.
So there was a comment just then about, because I've heard that our former Justice Secretary, our Home Secretary, is potentially being lined up to be the next Prime Minister. I mean, these are the things I'm hearing.
Well, it's either
that
her
would be
or
interesting.
Yusuf.
Well, yes, he will. Well, under reform, yes, if reform gets in. But no, but I mean, before the general election, that it will be Shabbat Mahmood's. I'm like, okay, that. I think she'll be warmly welcomed by the people of Britain. One demographic in particular will very much welcome her. But I think all of us would love to see the Home Secretary become Prime Minister and take over from Keir Starmer. We know that justice will be applied equally and measurably across society. It'll be wonderful. Wonderful. Can't think of anything better, Jeff. Honestly, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yes. Now, Spartakel 1954 says, ask Jerry Adams to tell us where the hidden weapons caches were. Got a hard second look. Not our backup then. For people who don't know, when the Good Friday Agreement was signed, all the weapons caches from the different organisations were locked up, and they're inspected regularly by Americans, I think it is, because they were one of their, I can't remember the senator's name, was involved, but nothing is named or said in the Good Friday Agreement. But the caches have to be checked to make sure they're not tampered with. And I believe they are still in existence. I haven't heard any different. So someone has to be checking up on them. So someone has to know where they are. But it's not meant to be our security services. So I don't know how they're checked or anything. I don't even know if they still exist. But yeah, because that would kick things off very quickly, because they did have a lot of weapons. There you go.
Well, it's horrible that we're even talking about this. This is Great Britain. How did we get here? You know, it's like, I'm just trying to set myself back to when I was a kid, like 1983. I was 10 years of age, and I'm thinking about what Britain was like then. Or actually, just go back 2 years, 1981, that Christmas. A very beautiful Christmas that was. I think it was 1981 Christmas. You had the big snow that came down, and Britain was such a very different country. Yeah, but it was a very different country, and I remember my parents had a pharmacy, and we were, doing the frosting of the glass and all that 1 week before Christmas. Yeah. No, none of this decorations up in November bull, right? It was a week before Christmas.
What do you mean? I've been down the shops recently, and they're putting all the Christmas stuff out now, and I think they're late these days.
Yeah.
Now,
but no, I think back to the country then, Jeff, and I just think it's it's all changed. It all happened so. I can't say it happened quickly, but when Jeff, there's a cognitive disconnect that I have looking back at the United Kingdom when I was a kid to what it is now. How awful! And when I was a kid, we used to have. I was watching. Was it Fast Jet Performance? And he was saying, you forget, it's like when we grew up. It was like, you had Daley Thompson and so many of the other top black athletes in the country, and there was no racism. There was no. It was like white people were supporting blacks, blacks supporting white. All this this racism nonsense had gone. Division was just not there. It just wasn't. Obviously, there's always going to be a certain degree of racism throughout every society in history, period. But the majority of it, these, Daley Thompson, true Brit, that was it. Frank Bruno, our beloved Frank Bruno. These were our heroes. These were the heroes of white working class men in this country. And you think, what happened? Something changed. An evil has come upon this land. I miss that country. I just so wish that my young son could, who is mixed race incidentally, could have grown up in that Britain. In that Britain where it was safe, when I used to go out as a kid on the bike for miles and miles.
Same here.
Riding around.
Here. Yep.
What happened,
Jeff?
What
Can't
happened?
do it now. Too many cars for a start. Now, that guy they let out loose accidentally? Yeah. A good question here from Beer Stens. Wonder if they'd let Lucy Connolly out early accidentally on purpose. Of course they wouldn't. Yeah.
No. Well, actually, I do think they did let her out on purpose.
No, they did let her out
early. Yeah,
early
as
but
well.
On purpose. Yeah. But it was all declared. It was all,
Well, because she was a national embarrassment. Not she was an national embarrassment. Her incarceration was a national embarrassment. Because how could Keir Starmer have continued just going in front of the world stage and going in front of Trump and say, "Oh, we're very proud of free speech in this country. We've got a long, proud history of it," and everyone's going, absolute whack.
Yeah.
Nobody trusted that. Why do you think Trump turned his back on him? It's like, oh, get out of my sight, you absolutely pathetic individual.
Yes, and thank you, Gary Plain. Evening, lads. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary.
Oh, and let me just see. There was one. Where's it gone? Someone said, "I hope Richard Inman has paid you for the rent of Richard, Jeff."
Well, somebody's got to pay us at some point.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh dear.
Apparently,
now
Israel is meant to be paying us.
Oh yeah. We're meant to be rolling in shekels or something, aren't we? Now I've lost the comment. Sorry, I've lost it. But there was a comment here that said, "Buy pitchforks." And of course, I mean, we are in harvest season, aren't we, or something? Or have we gone past that now? So we can all go down and, pick the hay up and all the rest. Yeah. So buy
trowels.
To help
trowels is what we need.
For the next, trowels.
Trowels. Yeah, trowels are great. They're good for weeding. For planting, getting your shrubs in. Yes, absolutely. I mean, was it the Knights of Knee? They said they want, he said, I want a shrubbery. Yeah, no, it wasn't the Knights of Knee. It was the guy talking to Knights of Knee, or was it Knights of Knee? Monty Python. Somebody in those comments reminds me of who it was, please.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes, they will. Oh, dear me. I hope Richard has his guitar on him, is the statement.
I'm afraid not tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I've got, my fingers are a little bit disintegrated at the moment. So, I mean, one day soon. Yeah, I've got some implants for that.
I hope they're not gone. I hope they haven't gone king-like.
No. I think the king would make it with his fingers. He'd make a wicked bass player, though. Fair play.
Oh, would he? Right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think he could drum with them, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. When I click my fingers, clong.
Oh, he'd be like, what was his name from Led Zeppelin? John Bonham from Led Zeppelin. My goodness, he could give him a run for his money. The late John Bonham. Yeah. Who used to incidentally play the drums with his hands on some of his drum solos in their live shows, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. Oh, look. Paul Official, good man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. Anyway, getting back to task here, we are in dire straits here in this country because we've been weak over the years and our governments have been even weaker. We've not been paying attention when we've been voting them in. We haven't taken any regard of what our children are being taught at school. In fact, it got to the stage earlier this year, where it was decided in a court or somewhere or other that parents don't have the right to know what their children are being taught in school because they don't want them knowing. And that's the sort of worrying position this country is in. Parents should always have the right to know what their children are being taught, especially when they're being basically forced to send them to school to be state educated. Don't you think that they should have the right to know? Why can't they go and sit in and see what happens in the classroom? Why can't they look at the educational stuff? Because this is the most important thing. Once they have your children at the age of 7, they've indoctrinated them, they have the man. They know it. And we're allowing it to happen because we're too busy. We've got jobs, 2, 3. Some people have got 3 or 4 jobs just to keep the roof over their head. They haven't got time. So, and that is awful. What an awful situation to be in. Yes. Now,
so I'm just looking something up,
Jack,
Jeff. You carry on.
Yeah. Jack says a Reform Advance UKIP coalition is what would work. What could work? Yes. It would take a lot of agreement on the direction we take on certain policies. Overall, I think they're sort of in the same direction, but it comes down to, in certain cases, egos, in other cases, sort of policy on religion and stuff like that. It's very difficult indeed. You got to remember this country is constitutionally Christian, in that the king is crowned by an archbishop. The king is crowned effectively, and the whole idea of that is the king is crowned by God's choice. Yeah, and that's how they try to bring the religion into the state. And at one stage, the state and the state religion were in lockstep, and everybody went along with it because it was the best thing for the country, and most people got on with it. Most people did actually go to church up until, I don't know, 100, 200 years ago. And everybody got involved, and everybody believed in the UK or the English project, or whatever you want to call it. Nowadays, they don't. They just don't believe in it at all. And it's all about, just me, myself. I don't care about everybody else. And there's no God. It doesn't matter. And that's a pity, really, I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jeff, what you're describing is the reason why the country is not acting. Do you know what? In some ways, we are blaming our politicians a little too much, I think, and the elites. We're blaming them a little too much. We need to start looking at ourselves in the mirror. We need to return to Christ. We need to, as individuals, if the individual is not aligned, then how can the group, the hive mind, be aligned? If you see what I mean, with God, without the proper moral compass, without our connection to God, we're doomed. We're over. This Unite the Kingdom movement without Christianity means nothing. Tommy Robinson's saying exactly the same thing now these days. You know, he can see the value of it. He can see what is underneath it, especially his recent trip to Israel, which I highly recommend people watch. You can see the impact that the country has had upon him. I was just over with Richard Inman, and you can see, we watched the prayers that were done for Tommy, where they laid hands on him, and afterwards he said, "Wow, he's got shivers." He said, and there's something incredible that's happening right now to that young man. He's coming on leaps and bounds with how professional he is, and I think that most people in this country can now see, even if you're not Christian at the moment, I think that you need to consider it, because without it, this country has no hope. I'm sorry. This is why I worry very much again with reform. I don't see Farage putting Christianity at the forefront of his message. And yet, with Advance Ben Habib is we're having the conversation, at least about how important Christianity is constitutionally, incidentally, within this country, as well as culturally. I would go further and say that Advance needs to develop the actual personal relationship with Christ. Now, I do find it very difficult to understand how we can move forward as a nation and save this country from a terrible, terrible civil war. I don't see how we can do it unless there's a great move of God within this country. And I hope so, because nobody wants this. And we need to try and bring ourselves, reorientate ourselves as individuals. We're all sinners. You won't find a more fallen man than myself. Oh, it may be Jeff. Okay. But but no, we really do need to start looking at ourselves in the mirror and just putting ourselves on the floor and taking the knee. There's only one person we should be taking the knee to, and that's Jesus Christ. Over to you, Jeff.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Now, England Forever says, can't see a political solution. They're all corruptible and easily frightened by the people behind the curtain. Need to be more scary. Well, what is more scary to you than the two people in front of the curtains right now?
Oh, is that a reference to us there, Jeff? Good grief. Hang on. My sides are about to split after that one.
Oh, dear. At least I try.
Well, you have a go, yeah.
When the Wind Blows full movie is on YouTube for anyone interested. Right, there you go. Yeah, thank you very much. There's quite a lot of good stuff there that gets up and then it gets taken down for some copyright infringement a couple of weeks later.
I do believe I have every single thing on. I've purchased every single film of. I've forgotten his name. He's gone now. The one who did. I was only talking about 2 seconds ago. This is old age. Oh, good grief. Biggs.
Yes.
Yeah, Biggs.
Yes. Thank you, John Dingle. Good evening, chaps and ladies. Thank you very much.
Good evening,
for your,
John Dingle.
Contribution.
And a good evening to all of you as well. Do you know what? It's lovely, when we come here. Raymond Briggs, that's it. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
UF60S. Thank you.
Mentioning that quite a lot. Yeah. Yes. Guys, don't forget, says Spooky Spoon, not all people are to blame. Don't lose your love and empathy.
True.
Yes,
no,
I just blame
actually,
everyone. I just blame
yeah,
everybody.
But I, that's a very important thing to say, though. I have to say, Jeff, sorry, but we are losing. You see, this is one of the things we're warned about in the end times. The love of many will grow cold. And, you know, if I'm standing here and I'm saying I'm a Christian, I better start living up to it. And all of us had. Because sometimes I have to check myself and think, you know, am I really moving from a place of love right now? And I have to think, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah. And that's something we all have to do. We're all angry. Of course we're angry. We've seen our beloved country fall apart. And the country that the next generation are inheriting now is fractured. We're seeing sectarianism, the rise of sectarianism in Britain. This is not Great Britain anymore. Great Britain has lost the great component, but it will be again. We have to make sure that happens, and we have to have that love that Christ taught us to have. For those who would smite us, you have to try and have some love for them. How difficult is that? Oh boy, I'm struggling with it. It doesn't mean roll over and play dead and be a victim. That's another thing. It doesn't mean let people walk over you. That's an entirely different thing.
Yes. And John Dingle, thank you again. He tells us, my liberal lefty brother seems to think that MI5, MI6 and the King will step in and stop the madness. I said to him, good luck with that then. Yes.
Yeah,
I think you're right there. Yeah.
I mean, what will the King step out of the King? Oh, good grief. Do we even have a king? You know, is that what he is? Oh, right. Okay. I just thought he was.
Is he a Kino? King in name only?
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't heard of that before. Yeah.
No, you heard it here first. Kino.
Yeah. Fair play, Jeff. You've impressed me there, mate.
Well, that's me done for the year then.
Yeah.
Yes. As P.W. Wright says, Ben Habib will bring Christianity back to schools. Well, it needs to be done. I'm sorry, but it does. Yeah. War is coming if we like it or not, says Peter Small.
I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, war is coming if we like it or not. I hope not. But that seems to be the general trajectory of this country.
Sorry, I've got a values cop trade. This is not a Christian country; it's a Jewish state. What? There's hardly a Jew that lives here, and the ones that are here are leaving because of the bigger state that's trying to be imposed on us. Oh, dear me.
Well, the thing is that there's lots of people from a different demographic who are telling us that they're taking over. And
you just saw it at the beginning of the video.
Yeah. Well, we could have done countless examples of that. But, yeah. Sorry.
Right, going for a serious question from Lord Viking Live. Who chose the colours for the curtains?
I did. No, I did. That was me. That's me.
He's the one. He said, because of V for Vendetta and Twin Peaks Come Fire Walk with Me, they've both got red curtains in. They're both iconic, so I've got to have a red curtain. Then he decided he had to be different, so he got a green curtain.
Yeah, but getting colour, getting the exact shade lighting, it's never going to work. Red and green, complementary colours. Enough said, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Eggheads for a brighter future. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I've got to agree with this one. Ben Habib would be a terrific Prime Minister. Yes, he would.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't be able to trip him up much at PMQs, I can assure you. And anyway, a political solution is not coming. The sooner we wake up to this, the better, says Raven. Well, yeah. It is
Well,
a difficult
that's-
position to be in at the moment.
That's what we keep hearing. All I'm hearing on social commentators, we do it as well for a good reason, but there are so many social commentators and even journalists are starting to pick up on it now, and even celebrities and politicians are saying
Yes.
that it's not looking good, that there could be a civil war coming to this country. And that's not being articulated across multiple platforms by different non-connected individuals for no reason. There has to be a reason behind this, and a good reason, and that reason, I'm afraid to say, is the signs are there. And experts in the field like Dr. David Betts, who we mention quite a lot, he has given us the warning of this. And when people like that are saying, and when then you see, like yesterday, throughout the weekend, you see people dressing up in paramilitary uniforms, covering their faces with face masks, not being tackled by the police, then you start thinking, the police are frightened of these people. The police are genuinely terrified of these people. Alison Pearson, I think, in a Twitter video has said something along the lines of that she has contacts with the police who have said that they are frightened of what will happen when a certain demographic kicks off, or their propensity to kick off. So, yeah.
Yeah. As Seiko68 says here, I bet they never asked to march to Tower Hamlets on the weekend. So why do we have to ask? That's a good question.
Well, that is actually a very good question, Jeff. I mean, certain people have to ask permission, but others don't.
No. Because
that's double standards, isn't it? Because we can't use a certain
those
phrase
words
anymore. So
you can't use that phrase anymore. No.
No. It's double standards.
Yes. Yes, definitely. But we really have got to somehow get a grip of this, and it's gripping. The only way we can do it is we've got to grip. To be absolutely honest, we've got to grip our politicians harder than the opposition does. At the end of the day, that's
metaphorically.
The truth of it.
Yes, metaphorically, yes.
That's the truth of it. Because if we don't grip our politicians, the others will do it, and our politicians cave, and cave again. And because they cave, the police cave. And it's, Professor Betts is so right. Yeah. Anyway, all I can do is go through the comments now, and there's so many people, not my king, not my king, not my king. Oh, dear. And someone is saying...
I've been saying this for ages, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know, there's the people of this country can see the king for what he is, and not just that. I mean, I have been hearing about people saying, which I disagree with, that they said that they believe that the king should abdicate and Prince William take over. I'm like, why? He's equally embedded. I've seen him at the WEF conferences and meetings, and so same for Prince Harry. He's been there. I'm thinking, well, why do you want these people in? And Prince William has said that he will not. I believe, from what I've heard, that he was not interested in having the Christian Church as part of his coronation because he's not a believer in the or at least the Church of England. I think, oh, okay, so you're not. Then your legitimacy's gone, Your Majesty, which means you wouldn't be Your Majesty, William. That will not happen.
Yes. Right, I'm just looking something up that someone put up.
Okay, you carry on there looking. He's leaving me to it again.
You just keep talking.
Yeah, I've got a waffle on.
I'll leave you. Yeah, you got a waffle when you're so good at it.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Anyway, so here's a question. Here's a question for people in the comment section. Okay. Do you see, yes or no, can you see there being a political solution to this? Yes or no? And I will come up with a follow-up question after this one. Yes, there will be a political solution. No, there won't. In the comment section below, please. Let's have a little wait and see. Oh, there's a no here. Oh dear. Oh, there's another no.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not looking
Right,
good.
while
Oh,
you're doing
hang on,
that,
there's
I will
another
just.
no.
Yeah, what I was looking up, Richard, was this one, FCO 301048. I thought I was right. That is the document that Ted Heath failed to present to talking about the EU taking our sovereignty, and it was all about giving our sovereignty up, and it was an agreement that it was all agreed we would give up our sovereignty, and this document said that's what would happen. And it's those sorts of things that governments
not a very
hide from us.
savoury character was Mr.
No.
Ted Heath at all. Okay, so I'm pretty much saying there's a one or two yeses, mostly no's that there is a political solution to all this. Okay, so next question, which I'm going to put out there for the for all you lovely people in the comment section. This is an important one. If things do turn nasty in this country, and we have a civil war, hypothetically, who will you be looking for to provide the answers? Who will you be looking towards? And I will give you some examples, okay? Will you be looking towards Nigel Farage and Reform to provide the solutions? Okay, if this happens in the next 2 or 3 years, prior to a general election, this is, will you be looking to Tommy Robinson? Will you be looking towards Nick Tenconi? Will you be looking to, as I say, Tommy Robinson, I should say Advance UK. So who will you be looking for? Who do you think will provide the answers in this? Please. Oh, that's an interesting comment
Yes,
there.
and while you're doing that...
Trump, sorry, just 2 seconds. Trump. That is a very interesting point. Maybe Donald Trump would be. Yeah. A lot for Tommy, a few for Ben here as well. Trump. Advance UK. Yeah. You see, this is actually encouraging, Jeff, because it means that people do actually have, there are people who are in the frame, we'll say, who people have hope in and have faith in, and that's good. That's encouraging. A lot saying Tommy and Advance and Ben, but Trump that's a very good call. Fingers crossed he would get involved and help save our country, because it would literally require, if civil war kicks off here, I think it would literally require intervention from America to help sort this out. This is something we've never talked about, Jeff. We've never mentioned this.
Yes. And the reason is, I'm just going to show you this. Thank you, John Dingle. Why does the super chat keep refusing to post? I have that problem as well occasionally. Doesn't like me. And thank you very much, Phil Jury. We have a Sultan Caliph, not a king.
Well,
yes.
I mean, I couldn't say that for a moment. No,
definitely not. And John Dingle again, thank you. Please watch Agenda, Their Vision, Your Future 2025. I think I might have seen that one. Oh, and here we go. John Dingle says, sorted, it doesn't like special characters. Yes,
special characters. Is that a reference to yourself and myself there, Jeff? The special characters.
I don't think so.
Yes.
And once again, John Dingle, thank you very much. No, because the barbarians do not believe in a democratic solution. The war cometh like it or not. And that may be the actual whole crux of the matter, because it's all very well one side wanting peace, but if the other side doesn't want it, then it continues, doesn't it? As we found
and the barbarians,
out in
incidentally, that John Dingle is referring to are, of course, the far right. He wouldn't be referring to anybody else. Absolutely.
No, of course not.
Thank you, John.
And he goes on to say, the ghost of Guy Fawkes will return one day, I suspect. Yes, may well do.
But he has, hang on, but if he does, he's not going to be able to do much, because he's, he isn't in a corporeal, he's in a non-corporeal form. So, I mean, he'd be trying to grab the matches and just can't do it. Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are saying no, aren't they? No, and no. Yes, there you go. So,
So that tells you something there, Jeff. And I think look, we are, I can't say that this channel is an echo chamber. There's always going to be an aspect of that in any YouTube channel with a reasonable following. But the problem we have is that I do think this is representational of much of the British public and how they view the situation in Britain. I was the other night. Do you know
Yeah.
what? I mean, I'm going to go off topic here slightly, and I think everyone would like to come along on this one. Is there a way of uniting this kingdom, but uniting the left and the right? Now, I'm wondering if that's possible. And again, I was watching FastJet Performance, and he came up with a very good point. Isn't it time we all shut up about a certain demographic and a certain belief system in this country and just let it do its thing for another 2 years? Leave it run roughshod. Because all those people who are on the left currently, who think that there's nothing to worry about there, that they would actually wake up. The remaining people in this country who have not woken up will wake up at that point. Maybe that's a unifying thing. I don't know if that's unifying or if it's a path that is too painful for us to take. I don't know. But it was a very worthwhile conversation and concept, that was. Yeah, I sort of have to interject with that. There was a very good point that I think it's Tim made, from FastJet Performance. And you're muted, Jeff. You're muted. Come on, unmute yourself.
What I was saying is that we have just had 30 years of standing around and waiting. 30 years of Labour, Tories, Lib Dem Tories, and more Labour trashing this country. I do not want another 2 years of letting someone else trash this country. It's trashed. We've got to rebuild it, and the sooner we get on with it, the better.
Yeah, right.
Means...
Yeah. No.
Honestly,
I think the British like a bit of trashing. You know that maybe it's part of our culture that we like to. It's only when things get properly Britishly trashed, good and proper. We need a good and proper trashing before we say, well, actually, I'm not too happy about this, dear. Aren't you? No. I think we have actually reached the threshold of being trashed. And until I feel properly trashed, I'm going to do or say nothing. Damn it. There we go. Yeah.
Yes. Mark, thank you very much. If civil war kicks off, I think I'll be looking at the military rather than an MP, as a lot of them don't seem to have a spine. No, they don't, do they? It's all about we've got into this mindset of we'll just negotiate and we'll come to an agreement, we'll appease them, and we'll just throw them a few quid and the whole problem will go away. Never does. The problem remains, I'm afraid, and it keeps remaining. I'd be looking to Odin, says Lord Viking Live. Yes, of course you would. Oh, yep, go. Want another answer?
Odin.
Tommy.
Oh, Odin.
And then Trump. Yeah, Tommy and Trump seem to be featuring a lot in the comments at the moment. Ben and Tommy. Yeah.
Well, here's the point, though. Who wouldn't you be looking towards for a solution? I mean, like Labour and Tories, that foregone conclusion.
Yeah, no one's mentioned them, have they?
Yeah. No.
No one's mentioned them.
Lib Dems, I didn't see the Greens getting a shout out. And absolutely, I don't think, did I see anybody say the Jezbollah party? Your party? Oh, what a great name.
Your
that is.
party.
Your party.
Yeah.
Oh, come on over to your party.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not mine, it's yours. Yeah. When it all goes wrong, it's your fault. Yeah. No, when it all goes wrong, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Thank you very much. Again, John Dingle. Tim is right until some groups go into battle. Yeah. It won't be... these things turn nasty internally. It becomes a long, drawn-out sort of guerrilla warfare and all that sort of stuff. It's not very pleasant. Mark, again, I think the armed forces might have to step in as we can't wait for 2029. Yes, I would tend to agree if we actually had armed forces, in number. But when you look at them, the actual numbers involved, and a lot of them are not battle fit, because they got injured in some way or other, or they're just not battle fit anymore. And
we can always get you
there's
back out.
also
Yes, you
gold.
can get Jeff back on the front line. Yes.
Oh
Conscription.
dear. Oh
Well, the
no,
thing
I'm
is,
too
though-
old for that.
Ah, yes. Oh, come on.
Right. At least someone has belief in us. Wisdom, nuggets, and tidbits. Thank you very much. The English have a strong fibre and heritage. Stay strong and hold together. Yes. We'll have to.
Yes. Thank you
we
for that
really
wisdom,
will
nuggets,
have
and
to.
tidbits. Yeah.
We will have to. At the end of the day.
It's the thing is, here's a question, Jeff. Have you heard many people on the left talking about civil war and civil disorder? We'll say. I haven't, or maybe I have. I'm just forgetting about it.
Not in
but
the.
I haven't.
Civil disorder is in their genes. It's in their makeup. What they're here to do is to destabilise the country. But the way they see it happening is they'll throw a few spanners in some works and they'll bring the economy down a bit. They'll bring everything down. So in the end, we beg them to take over and take us to their perfect communist, idealistic nirvana, and we'll all come along with it in the end, or we'll be forced to do it by everyone else. What they don't realise is we think they're a crock of idiots.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure that we'll. You see, what I'm concerned about is almost as you said, it's like they've got their heads in the sand when it comes to the potential of civil unrest. They are going to be so unprepared psychologically for this. I don't know how they'd even consider dealing with it.
Does anyone know
I mean,
what
who would they
Yuggies?
to have to look?
Yeah.
No idea, mate.
Phil Drury says, I do think we're heading the way of Yug.
I don't know what Yug is. I mean, yeah.
Right. I'm going to Google it and see what Yug is.
Jeff's going to Google it.
Oh, it's a TV series.
Oh, okay.
What are the 4 Yuggers? There are 4 A Yugger in Hinduism is generally used to indicate an age of time. Right, okay. Are we going the way of Yugger? I'll have to look that up a bit more.
But maybe Yug is different. There's a different
Deeply.
thing to Yugger. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yes. Yes, and John Dingle's back again. Yes, thank you very much. Do we think ex-armed forces lads will lead the locals in defending our land and in places into battle? We will need them against the barbarians. Yes, the trouble is our armed forces have now become very multicultural, haven't they? We've trained a lot of them. Yes. But the big thing is, of course, we've got so many women in the armed forces now. They're far stronger than they ever were. So that's the good.
We're okay
part.
there.
That's the good thing.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely okay there.
To be honest with you, though, here's the thing, though, Jeff. We're entering a period in time where physical men's strength is going to become irrelevant with the advent of AI, drone warfare. You know, your big, strong, burly soldier is compared to a more dainty, hypothetically. Not all women are dainty, incidentally, so don't want to offend anybody, but I'm saying, though, you know, but anyway, my point being, with the advent of drone warfare, war is becoming very different. It's not about who's the strong alpha male on the battlefield anymore, which it traditionally was. I'm not saying that was a good thing or a bad thing, of course, but that's the way it was. Now it's, yeah. And here's a question. In a civil war in the United Kingdom, how much of that would be drone warfare? That's a terrifying prospect, that is. Because whoever has the most drones, yeah. I mean, we've seen what's happened in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Awful, awful.
But at the end of the day, it's not about what equipment you've got, it's how many people you kill on the other side.
Well, yes,
because nothing
but
changes. It's nothing.
But the thing is, a drone can kill a lot more people. You know, drone warfare is warfare is far more invasive That's what has been borne out in the Ukraine-Russia war. It's awful. Unfortunately, I've seen some of the footage of what's happened there to people with these drones, and I mean, no war is ever pretty. Let's face it, you know.
Yes, thank you, Larry. I haven't quite worked that one out yet.
I don't know. I'm trying to work that one out myself. Larry, you have completely baffled me on that one.
Johnny Marr. Who's Johnny Marr?
Oh, Johnny Marr.
Come on,
Hang on.
who's-
Johnny Marr's the guitarist from the Smiths. The Smiths, wasn't it? Yeah, the Smiths. He was the guitarist in the Smiths. Johnny Marr, Prayer. Oh, hang on. That's a play. Is that a play upon a Smith song? I'm trying to work it out.
Oh, right.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
yeah.
I might be wrong. Larry, you might have to help us out with that one there, mate. Sorry.
Yes. Good try, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Thank you, Johnny. Larry.
M77 Mental says military coups were forming in the 80s. The paras, it was all happening back then too. Now that's quite interesting because I joined the Royal Navy in 1975 and I left in the year 2000. So that was right in the middle of my... And I know there was rumours and all this, that and the other about a possible coup and all this, that and the other, but I didn't actually see anything of it myself. You know, no one came up to me and said, hey, let's go and, you know, take over the base or something. Or no, nothing like that. So a military coup in the UK would be a very British thing, I think. It would be a case of almost an agreement from the politicians that they'd failed in the old days, and the army would have come in for a short time and then we'd have had an election. But, I don't know.
Jeff,
I
I'm
had
beginning
heard the
to
rumours,
freeze a
though.
bit here. I'm beginning to freeze, but I think we're going to have to end this quite soon.
Oh, right. Yeah, that means someone's busy on everything at your end.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So anyway, we had a long chat today, and it's all about this strengthening of movement on the other side, on a side that is not much conducive to us, and we're letting it happen. There doesn't have to. All we have to do is somehow impose our will on the situation. The British will has to happen. It has to happen in some way or another. So yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And please press the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you really like what we do, go on, become a channel member. Only for the cost of the price of a pint of beer in a London pub, or even a coffee in some bloody places in London. Absolutely ridiculous prices there.
Well,
but you get a little bit of extra content from us. Yeah, you get a bit of extra content from us. And, you know, it does help out with the channel. So... And God bless you all. And thank you for everyone who's been here in the comment section tonight. And thank you for all the super chats as well. You guys help us going. And thank you for all those who help us via Patreon and PayPal. You know, that really does keep the wolf from the door and allows us to keep us doing this. Just about. just about,
yes.
I can tell you. Yeah.
Yes. And I've forgotten what I was going to say then, but that doesn't matter.
Oh, just say goodbye, damn it. Let's just say goodbye in this. Yeah, I need to eat.
Yes.
One thing. Somebody did ask, could I end this stream with a prayer? Somebody asked that early on. Yes, I will end this with a prayer, actually. So, Heavenly Father, we pray for peace in this land. We pray that there is no takeover of this land by persons who would wish us ill, and we pray for peace amongst all communities. We pray that this country, though, will turn its face away from secularism and other belief systems which are not Christian, because, Father, anything else other than your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, it's not going to work, Father. It's not going to work. We know that. So we just offer this country back up to you, Father, and say, we are a Christian nation again. We wish to be a Christian nation again, and forgive us for our personal sins and our personal wrongdoings. And God, help us all, Father. Please help us all. And Jesus Christ, thank you for being our Saviour. Holy Spirit, guide us and this nation. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. Amen. And also, thank you, everyone. We've got 2 new members have just joined. Thank you very much. That's that's wonderful. Thank you to Peter Wilson and to Katie King. Kate King, thank you. God bless you, and God bless all of you. And our love to you all. And there is a way out of this, aside from Advance UK, and that is by following our Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ. We're a Christian country. That's what this country was built on. That's what this country was built on. Christianity.
Get back to church. Yeah.
Yeah, get back to church. God bless you all.
Yes. And on that note, I need to go. So I shall say it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him, from the one and only Mr. Jeff Taylor.
Good night. Bye.
Bye now.